to fight on the landing ground.
Thank you for joining us. You're listening to A Radio, and this is the Morning Minute. Please click on the follow button on Spreaker.com. Today, I want to play a little detective game. I will give you a number of clues and reveal at the end the source. But what I would like you to do is to see if you can see if there's anything familiar in this to what's going on around you and what you see and hear. So here goes the first quote. Whenever possible, go outside the expertise of the enemy. Look for ways to increase insecurity, anxiety, and uncertainty. Any thoughts? Okay, on to the next. Keep the pressure on. Never let up. Keep trying new things to keep the opposition off balance. As the opposition matches one approach, hit them from the flank with something new. Anything ring any bells? Anything sound familiar? Well, here's another. Perhaps this will give it away. Divide the people into the wealthy and the poor. This will cause more discontent, and it will be easier to take, quote, tax the wealthy and support the poor. No idea? No idea. Well, do you think any of this has been applied to you and your life yet? I think probably so. Let me give you one example. M103. The Liberal Communists plan to shut down free speech in Canada. Here's another. The introduction, against the will of the Canadian people, of the carbon dioxide tax. The carbon dioxide tax is a tax on the air that you breathe, very simply. But most people are so stupid they can't see that. Another, forcing onto a country a mandatory language that eliminates and alienates well over 80% of the country. Give up? Okay. Here's the answer. Saul-Alinsky's Rules for Radicals. Yes, Saul-Alinsky's Rules for Radicals. Shocking, isn't it? By turning on one group of people against another, they, for the most part, that is liberal communists, are able to divide Canadians and conquer. They demoralise us. Many give up and don't even vote or take part in any of political discussions, or take part in the political process, allowing a very small minority to give the impression that they are in fact the majority when they're not. This in fact is what's been taking place in Canada over the last 30 years or more. Now I'm going to upset a few people now, but I just call it how it is. Quebec, by their biased influence on the government, forced on the rest of Canada rules and regulations that have stifled innovation and confidence, all in the name of so-called fairness. Seems to have heard that word before somewhere. And their latest incarnation is a massive immigration that will, if we don't stop it, have the effect of changing Canada out of all recognition. Certainly not for the benefit of its original inhabitants. And this is the final comment I want to make. This is all part of Agenda 2030. Look it up. Check out my website. It's all there. I will put a link on my website for Saul-Alinsky, and you can see all the information. And I will actually link to somebody who people, how can I put it, argue is a bit of a crazy nutball. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. But he exposed this information years ago, and his name is Glenn Beck. Now, a lot of Canadians haven't heard of Glenn Beck because they're basically brainwashed by the CBC. But follow the link, check it out, and you will see yourself that this is all part of Agenda 2030, Saul-Alinsky, and you, my fellow Canadians, are being played. You can find more at aradio.wordpress.com. I am very pleased to announce that thanks to you for following us on Spreaker.com, that A Radio can now be found on iTunes under A Radio. Thank you, everyone. And I'm on Twitter at A Radio Canada. I'm also on Facebook at A Radio Canada. I am on Gab at A Radio. You can email me at aradiocanada@gmail.com. Please click the follow button on Spreaker.com. You can listen to all my morning minutes at Spreaker.com under A Radio. That's EHRADIO, A Radio. and please click on the like button. And you can also find all my podcasts and morning minutes at aradio.wordpress.com and click on the Morning Minutes tab.